The body of another miner has been discovered and retrieved from a tunnel at the Gbani mine in the Talensi district of the Upper East region. This brings the death toll from the accident to 10. The miners were trapped underground after water rushed into their mining pit following a downpour Monday night. They died as a result of drowning. 9 bodies were recovered on Wednesday dawn by rescuers and released by police to the families for burial, while 3 others were unaccounted for. 1 of the 3 has now been found. Correspondent Albert Sori joins us with further details. Albert, what more do we know about this?
Yes, so the 9 miners were found at dawn yesterday, and 3 others were still unaccounted for based on information that police and the rescue team gathered from those who were around the mine at the time the other miners went in. So the search continued throughout yesterday in attempt to find these other 3 that could not be found. At 8:30 last night, they found 1 more body. And from what the police are telling us, it is a body of a 28-year-old miner whose name is being withheld for now because the body has just been given to the family for burial. The other 2, they are still looking for, for their bodies in the tunnels. Hopefully, in the course of the day, they'll be able to account for these bodies as well.
Tell us about Gbani once again. Are persons still engaged in illegal mining there so soon after this incident?
For now, they have asked all the miners not to go in. In this particular instance, what the regional minister tells us is that the mine where this accident occurred is a licensed concession for small-scale mining. So the implication is that these people were not doing illegal mining. But I mean, Gbani is also a mining area where some people, engage in mining that is not exactly regulated. From time to time, authorities try to clamp down on some of them. For this particular case, because of the occurrence of the accident, they've stopped everyone around this area from going underground for any mining activity. In fact, what we know is that those who are allowed to go underground are part of the search team that are looking for the bodies. The regional minister has set up a committee that is investigating this incident to ensure that they come up with recommendations that will prevent a further occurrence. And so because of that, nobody will be getting access to the mine for some time. He's even encouraging that based on the findings that this committee will bring, they may have to steal most of the pits that are around this area because this is something that was unexpected. The water just went into a pit that was left uncovered, unknown to these miners who were very deep underground. They didn't detect it, so it was too late by the time they knew about it. So they are trying to make sure that any pits that are not being used are sealed in the future. And for those of them who are not licensed to operate, they will have to be stopped. These are some of the measures that the regional minister and the Regional Security Council is looking at in the interim.
Albert, tell us about the families of these persons, especially those whose bodies have not been found yet. How are they taking the incident?
Yeah, so one of the things that you'd find around the mine is that the families, especially 3 days ago, and 3 days ago when they were still pumping the water out of the tunnels to try and find the miners, at the time, the fear was that they won't be alive, but there were still some people who were hoping that somehow some of them would have managed to survive and try to find their way out. So you would find their families around looking sad, some of them standing under trees, just waiting to see if there would be any news of their lost family members, being found. Now, at about 4:30 on Thursday, sorry, on Wednesday, when I was at the scene, they told us that they had finished pumping the water and they were going in to look for the bodies. If you see the picture on your screen now, this is when all the people around gathered near the mining pit in anticipation of, the bodies being found. And one of the leaders came to ask them to move back because, they had not yet found anybody and they didn't want people to stand around. For him, it was not even good for people to stand around when the bodies started arriving. And there were people who, showed signs of sadness. Some of the women I saw nearly even started weeping, even though they had not yet found the body. So a lot of them are sad. It's unfortunate that at the time they found the 9 bodies, it was at 3 a.m. Yesterday. And so we didn't get the chance to see how the families were reacting. And so one of the things the police did immediately was to have medical examinations on the bodies, some of which we learned were showing signs of decomposition. And so they had to release the bodies for the families to go and bury and hopefully perform funerals for these people.
Albert, sorry, thank you very much for joining us with these updates.